Well, social media giant Meta has begun blocking under 16-year-olds' accounts on Instagram and Facebook. Now, this, of course, comes as the first wave of the under 16 social media ban comes into effect next week. National Senator Matt Canavan asked two very important questions in Senate estimates this week, and the response from the E-Safety Commissioner, Julie Iman-Grant, and officials was quite baffling. Have a look.
I've had some great family experiences on YouTube. I don't understand. I mean, I get there's maybe some harm, but I feel like you haven't fully captured the positive benefits.
Some of our research did show that 96% of 10 to 15-year-olds had one social media account, and 70% of them experienced harm on social media, and 40% of those experienced the most harm.
I'm just talking about YouTube. Just to go back to what we said earlier, children can continue to do all of that on their parents' account?
Senator, I think if they were doing that on a parent's account, we would expect that Google would assess that.
So they'd block my account? So if I was allowing my child, as a parent, to use my account to look at content, they'd block my account?
They may assess
so you're going to restrict the rights of their parents.
The user of the account is underage.
What a nightmare. Yeah, OK.
Very strange, isn't it? National Senator Matt Canavan joins me now. Good to have you on the show, as always. So the Commissioner would not say what the benefits of YouTube are for kids, and now we have confirmation that if a child does use their parent's account, there's an expectation that the account would be blocked. What does that tell us?
Well, look, Danica, the E-Safety Commissioner did highlight some of the harms that can come from social media, and I absolutely accept that. I accept that perhaps there's something governments could do to help parents. But the problem with this whole approach is this bill, this act, these measures completely override the will of parents and effectively seek to replace parents with state officials like the E-Safety Commissioner. And however smart the E-Safety Commissioner thinks she is, I don't really want her in the role of parent to my children. That is my job and my wife's job. Yes, there are a lot of issues to manage, but we should be the ones principally in charge of that. What was even more unusual from that exchange, you couldn't play all of the exchange, but what is even more unusual is I asked the officials about the situation where a child may seek to post videos. There's lots of examples of young children setting up their own social media accounts. There's a great journalist, Leo Pugliese, who started as an 11-year-old. There's an Olympian that this week had to shut down her social media accounts, and she'd catalogued her sporting career on there. If they post videos, apparently, on your account, on your parents' account, that's okay. So a child, apparently, this is what the officials said, could post a video on their parents' account. But if they watch videos on the parents' account, as you just heard, you could have your whole account locked out. I mean, this doesn't seem to make any kind of sense. And I think more than anything, when this comes into effect, there'll just be a whole lot of confusion and mess. I doubt it's going to keep the kids off social media. It's probably going to kick a lot of grandmas off social media who don't know how to get back into their account when they've been accused of being a 6-year-old.
Well, this is a thing, you know. I mean, the Communications Minister, Annika Wells, said this week that her Liberal counterpart was dog whistling over this issue. Well, you know, we're all going to have to cough up our idea that there's so many holes, there's so many black holes in this legislation. So let's see what happens. Now, another interesting exchange in the Senate estimates this week, Matt, when you tried to get an answer on the cost of net zero. Have a look.
How much do we need to invest to get to net zero?
So I'm not sure exactly what question you're asking over what time frame.
The goal is net zero by 2050, so that's the time frame.
That's right, and between now and then there's a lot of private investment that will take place.
I'm only asking, didn't you just do a modelling exercise?
Yeah, we did. So
how much, what's the figure?
So I'm not sure whether we have a figure.
Matt, a lot of confusion from Treasury. No figure on the cost, but our bills keep going up.
You do wonder what we pay these people for. The government spent millions of your dollars doing this so-called modelling on net zero, and they can't even tell us how much getting to net zero is going to cost. Wouldn't that have been the central question you'd want answered when doing a modelling exercise on net zero? But the reason I think, and I suspect, I fear the reason is, Danica, that they don't want to tell us. They don't even perhaps want to calculate the figure because that would be way too embarrassing for them. There are some other people that have done this work, researchers at the University of Melbourne, the University of Queensland and Princeton University. They formed a body called Net Zero Australia, and they found that getting to net zero would cost $7 to $9 trillion. That's more than $250,000 per Australian, massive cost. And they found that cost, that $7 to $9 trillion cost, was 6 times more expensive than not doing net zero. I think that finding, to me, is why your government, the Labor Party, won't investigate how much it costs to get to net zero, because if they did tell you, you wouldn't support it.
No, exactly. That, I think, is spot on. That is why they're so secretive about this. Before I let you go, an Australian Energy Market Commission report today has warned that electricity prices are projected to jump 13% by early next decade unless the rollout of Labor's net zero policies are accelerated. I mean, already our bills, Matt, obviously they've gone up by 40%, about 26% alone this year. But now, the more we look into the future, the bleaker it gets.
Well, it's a real problem here, Danica. It's very sad to see manufacturing go out the back door, to see small businesses go out the back door, to see families being crushed under the ever-escalating energy price situation in this country. And time again, we get just excuses from this government, not solutions. I mean, today we've had the Treasurer out there saying that, look, it's all okay because Sarah Ferguson at the ABC has put out a fact check saying that the coalition's wrong on why electricity prices are so high. I mean, can this guy, he's in charge, he's the Treasurer, if he believes that we've got it wrong on power prices, why doesn't he just take action to bring the price down? If it's that simple, Jim, just do it. Stop complaining about it, stop tweeting about it, just get the power prices down. And they haven't done that. They're effectively now saying they want you, the government wants you to not believe your lying eyes. You can see, we can all see that power prices have gone up 37% in the past year. I think that's the truth, not the government spin.
Yep, every time we get our power bills, we see it with our own eyes. So, you know, Labor can hide their own eyes, but we're certainly not. Matt Canavan, good to speak with you as always. Thanks very much for your time this evening.